and gentlemen, we are starting. Apparently we're not. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, what we're doing today is inverse operations. Okay, these are a little bit harder to do if you don't have a calculator. So getting a calculator, borrowing one, buying one, you need one that has trig functions on it. It's going to really help you. It's much harder to do. If you have one and the person next to you does not, can you try to share while I'm going over this? Okay. Inverse of trig functions is, we've been using trig functions to find what of the triangle? The sides. Inverse trig functions, you're going to find the what? There we go. Okay. So if I give you, for example, the sine of A equals, and I didn't leave myself enough room, 0.24. You're going to take out your calculator. You're going to get to the inverse of sine. So second sine usually does it. It depends. And you're going to put 0.24 in your calculator, hit equals, and you should get approximately, if we're rounding to one decimal place, 13.9. Okay? Should we try another one?
Wait, what?
Okay. What I did is I took out my calculator. Now I have a TI-30. Okay? Some of you might have different things, so you might have to do it in a different order. But I pushed second sine, and then I pushed 0.24, and just hit equals. And I rounded to one decimal place. Okay? So I'm going to try another one. We've got, for B, we've got tan of A equals 1.73. Tan of A equals 1.73. So I am simply going to push into my calculator, second tan 1.73 equals, and I get 59.9, well, 60 approximately. Make sure you slow down. Okay, so it's approximately 60 degrees. Okay, while I'm going around and helping some people with your calculator, I want you guys to do C, D, E, and F. So the next four. Do the next four, and then I'm going to go over the answers. Anybody else? Calculator issues? Okay.
I lost my calculator.
You just got it.
No, right?
You should address that. What you did.
But in this case,
I think I fell off my dad.
I think they
I had it like earlier in the day. I had it earlier in the day.
so you would have to do one,
I just had two.
one,
Our line's over here.
Check it my back.
so I will have to one. Anybody else? Okay, and then I'm going to go over those last four answers.
I was getting third on
You're in radians. Try it now.
We're recording.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so what did you get for C? Please raise your hand. Tell me what C is. Yes, Shelby, tell me. Yep, so 51.7. Because it says to one decimal place, but yes. D? Yes, Kim. 4.6, lovely. And let's do just E and then we'll be done. 19.9 or 20? Okay.
So 20 would be right.
20 would be right, and the reason that is because it's 19.95, and if you're rounding 9 up to the tens place, you got to round the whole thing. Okay. All right. Let's move on and try and find the angle for C for this triangle. Okay, if we're trying to find every part of this triangle, we're missing angle A and C, and what else? Side AB. What's the easiest to find for this triangle before we do anything else? The side. And how do we set up the side? How do we find it? What do we use? Pythagorean theorem. So we're going to do AB squared plus 14 squared equals 25 squared. This is going to give me 100 AB squared plus 196 equals 624. 25, I believe, yes. So AB squared, I'm subtracting, equals 429. Square root both sides, and AB gives us approximately 20.7.
Wait, how do you do
I square rooted 429. The square root of 429 is approximately 20.7. Okay, now I want to find angles A and C. Okay, let's find, what do you want to find first? You want to do A first because it's alphabetical order? All right. So we're looking at A. This is opposite, and this is hypotenuse. We're just going to use those. We're not going to use the side we just found because if we calculated it wrong, it's going to mess up our whole problem. Does that make sense? Okay. So what uses opposite and hypotenuse? Sine, cosine, or tangent? Sine. Opposite and hypotenuse. So we say the sine of A equals, what do I put? 14 over 25. Then you guys, this is so easy. You push second sine 14 divided by 25. Push the equal sign, and you get 34. It says round to the nearest tenth, so 34.1. You might have to do it in the opposite order.
Wait, this is
Yes,
for equal C is minus
you could, but what if I got A wrong? So I'm gonna, yes, you can, but I'm gonna do it the other way and figure it out, just in case we did A wrong. But you could totally do it that way, Tina. Tammy asked a really good question. I want to repeat it so everybody heard. If we have angle A and angle B, we could just add them together and subtract it from 180 to find C. The only problem with this is what if we found A wrong? Okay, what if we did it wrong? So I want you to practice doing this new thing that I'm teaching you. So if we're looking at C, this becomes adjacent, and that's hypotenuse. Remember, hypotenuse always stays the same because it's always across from the 90-degree angle. So which one uses adjacent and hypotenuse? Cosine. Cosine of C equals, I'm going to put 14 over 25. And then I'm going to push second cosine 14 divided by 25, hit equals, and I get approximately 55.9. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, what we're going to do now is you're going to try to do the next triangle on your own. So I'm going to pause. You're going to do that. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, I saw a lot of people do this a different way. This is a 3, 4, 5 triangle, Pythagorean triple. 4 squared is 16, plus 9 squared, square root it, we get 5. Pythagorean triples, okay? So, 3, 4, 5 triangles are Pythagorean triples. Okay, we talked about that for the last quiz. If you're having trouble with that, you can look it up under Pythagorean converse, which was 7.2 on my blog. Okay, so what we're going to do from this is find x and z. So I'm going to find x first. I know this is the opposite, and this is the adjacent. I'm going to use opposite and adjacent for these because what if I'm not positive that's correct? So I'm going to have the something, this is for this, so I'm going to have the something of x equals opposite and adjacent, that's tan. So tan of x equals opposite 3 over adjacent 4. So then I take my calculator, which I don't have, and I do second tan 3 divided by 4, and I get 36.9. Okay, and now I'm going to find z. So for z, I'm using green. Here's z. This is opposite, and this is adjacent for z. So I'm going to have tan of z equals opposite, which is 4, over adjacent, which is 3. And I'm going to get z is approximately 53.1. Questions about this so far? We're good? All right. The back is the exact same thing that we've been doing for here, so I'm going to go all the way down to the story problem. Okay, unfortunately, this is going to disappear. I'm going to go down to the story problem. Shh. I don't know why we're talking. Well, I'm still obviously talking. Okay. Oops. Let's move this a little bit out of the way. All right. A sonar operator on a ship detects a submarine at a distance of 400 meters and an angle of depression of 35. How deep is the submarine? So if we're on the surface, we're the ship, at an angle of depression of 35 degrees. We've got this right angle right here. It's depressed at 35 degrees. It is 400 meters away. We want to find out how deep it is. Okay? All right? So, this is just like our old ones. This is not like the new thing. We're going to find the side. We know what the angle is. Okay? So we've got, if we're looking at 35, we've got opposite and adjacent. So which one am I using? Sine, cosine, or tangent? Tan. So we have the tan of 35 equals opposite over adjacent. So remember, this is cross multiplying. I just want to bring this back up. Okay, so we can set it up as 400 tan 35 equals x. So we put all that in our calculator. And you guys can look these up in your books. 400 tan 35, so tan of 35 and then multiply by 400, is approximately 280.08, or 280 because it says round to the nearest meters, equals x. So it's 280 meters below the surface. Okay, if you're having trouble with any of this stuff, please email me. Please look on the blog again. We are going to review the whole day on Monday, and then your quiz is on Tuesday.